peeps? We are live. Yes, I love it. This time of day is amazing. We are live and direct from Chateau de Nîmes in Gym. But yes, guys, so I'll let Instagram filter people in, let people know that we are here and live. Tonight's subject is going to be about why you should be looking to get stronger, basically, and why it's kind of important to do that. I've noticed the last few weeks I've been kind of talking about kind of adding structure into your kind of workouts in which you're doing, structure into your programming over a month, without kind of putting too much emphasis on why people will do certain things, essentially. And I think it's super important that we actually really touch on this point. Now, I put a post on a little bit earlier, a little bit of feedback from one of my online coaching members, Tasha, who is a mum of two, she's a wife, mum of two, and has a dog, and has quite a busy day-to-day kind of lifestyle, essentially. And one of the things that she's kind of really touched on recently in terms of feedback was that she has gotten stronger, and she's been on two particular exercises, which was the squat and also her deadlift. She actually did a PB on a deadlift this weekend, which was 75 kg. Woo! Yes, Tasha, love that. Big fan of that. But yeah, what I want to kind of touch on this one with, and a bit more, the reason why someone should actually be doing strength training, why it's actually important as well. Now, there are times, and the reason why I'm going to kind of touch on this is I'm going to put a bit more context around it now. Now, I'm not necessarily someone who always wants to kind of strength train. I don't always want to do it. I am a coach, I am a personal trainer. It is something I work with Birmingham City Community Trust in terms of strength conditioning for those guys as well. It is well and truly in what I do on a day-to-day basis. Do I always want to do it myself? Not necessarily. But I understand the importance of it. I understand that it's important for me, so for life longevity. So when I get older, I want to be able to still run around like I'm 21. I've never really run around at 21, to be fair. But I still want to move, have quality of movement. I want to be able to kind of still exercise a relatively good standard as well at the same time. I want to be able to kind of pick up my kids, grandkids, play around with my nieces and nephews, and still be running around, essentially. When I get to like 80, 90, I still want to do that as much as I possibly can. I want to be as active as I possibly can. I want to do kind of hiking. I want to be able to kayak. I want to be able to do things that kind of my granddad and my nan weren't able to do. God bless his souls, they've both passed away now, unfortunately. But I want to be able to kind of live past that mark, the 80 mark. And I'm not taking for granted that it is guaranteed, because nothing is guaranteed in this world, as we've seen over the last year and a half, especially with the pandemic. Who would have thought that happened? Not any single one of us would have. But I want to get to a point where I am fit and healthy, or as healthy as I can be. My joints are in as good a place as they can be, so I'm not kind of stuck in a wheelchair. I'm not being put in a home at like the age of 80. I don't want that for myself, and I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that happens to people, so don't get me wrong when I say that. But I want to try and put myself in the best position as possible so that doesn't happen to me. And that's the same for anyone in particular. Okay, so for yourselves, it's not about necessarily now. Yes, what are the acute kind of things that will happen when you exercise? You'll get that feel-good factor. You'll get DOMS. You will get stronger right now. You possibly build a good amount of muscle mass as well if you're doing it over a short period of time, which is absolutely fantastic. Longer term, we want to think about kind of building pliability in the muscles. We want to strengthen our joint. We want to try and maintain muscle mass, because once we get to 50, your muscles will start to deteriorate no matter what. So we're trying to maintain that as much as we possibly can. Now, kind of referring back to the post I put in earlier about Tasha, one of my members, that she was kind of strong as she's ever been. She lifted heavier than she's ever lifted. That's absolutely awesome. That's just putting metrics on what she's doing, so we can manage progress. We can make it. We can have that buy-in. We can gamify exercise. So you've got a target to it, rather than just mindlessly going to a gym, pressing away, deadlifting away, doing the same week in, week out. By doing it that way, it's monotonous, it's boring, there's no direction in what you're doing. So kind of gamifying exercise, having specific targets to work towards, whether that is trying to increase weight, whether that is looking to try and increase reps, whatever it may be, then that's absolutely fine, but it makes it more fun. And that's kind of what I'm talking about in terms of structuring exercise, making sure that you can add that in there so it's progressive in terms of what you do and what you get out of it, essentially, with that one, guys. But so think about your daily life, guys, okay? What are your struggles right now? What do you feel you cannot do? What do you feel you struggle with on a daily basis? Is it picking up the kids, actually picking them up, picking up the grandkids? Is it just walking up the stairs at work? You're getting out of breath. What the fuck, man? You don't want to do that. No one wants to do that. Is it you're getting knee pain when walking upstairs or downstairs? Now, I have members who have done that, and we work around that as well. So niggles will happen every now and then, and that's fine. That's part and parcel of exercise, part and parcel of life. Niggles will always happen. But we're looking to kind of look at the longevity so it doesn't last too long, because we don't want that, essentially, okay? Could it be taking the dog for a walk? You're too tired to do it. Could it be, I don't know, your job's quite a physical type job and you do your backing? How are we going to get back to that point? Yes, by all means, you've got quite a physical job. You don't necessarily need to be kind of like lifting weights or trying to get stronger all the time, because it comes part and parcel with work. But at the same time, it's always good to have that solid foundation so you don't get injuries, okay? Or you're lifting with relatively good technique, so you are not kind of adding to potential future problems in terms of posture, essentially, okay? So what else can exercise and kind of building strength actually do for you? It can increase longevity, okay? It can increase your quality of life when you head into your late 50s, your late 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s and whatnot. Our population as a whole, or world, the average age in which we are kind of dying out is always increasing, guys, okay? So you don't want to be left behind. And I say that very loosely, to be fair. It's probably not the right term to use, but I've said it. You don't want to be at that age where you're 60 and you can't do certain things, okay? It happens, okay? And I don't want people to do that. My job is to try and help people build strength, whatever that means. Make it as fun as we possibly can, because it is hard, okay? Not everyone enjoys it, and I understand that as well at the same time. So it's trying to have that buy-in, and I help you do that, guys, okay? But by increasing your strength, increasing your fitness, it's going to increase confidence as well. So you are going to enjoy life more, because you're going to be trying different things, whatever that may be. It might be doing a marathon that you've never done before. It might be, I don't know, rock climbing. It might be sailing. It might be kayaking. It could be anything, whatever it may be. Things that you think, I quite like the idea of that, but I don't think I could do it because of my knees. Fuck that. Get stronger and do it. You can do it, guys. You can do it. I work with people who are 35. I work with people who are 60 plus as well. And they're able to do these things because they are building strength, guys. Okay, it can be done, and you can do it too. Okay, so my message to you today is, whatever it is you can do, building strength is super important. It's not necessarily about being stuck in a gym for aesthetic purposes, okay, guys? It's looking at the bigger picture, the why. So you can spend more quality time with the kids when, as they get older. It's more about being able to kind of be more active so you can do the things that you want to do, whatever that is. And when you are older, you're not kind of in a wheelchair, you're not on a Zimmer frame, you're not being put in a home before time, before you want to, before you thought that as well, guys, okay? But how do we do that? We've got to do things now to look after tomorrow, guys, okay? Do it now rather than kind of do it when it's too late, okay? Which is what has happened in the past. We are in a different age now. We are in a different time in which there's so many tools in which you can kind of look after your body now. You can get stronger. You can go to the gym. You can kind of rent pieces of equipment, is what you do in your large box gyms, like your Pure gyms, the gym group, whatever it is. Or you can buy kettlebell. You could do all sorts with that and see really good results. You can get strong from doing it. You can just buy a band. You can literally do bodyweight stuff, and it gets you heading in the right direction, guys, okay? So it's not necessarily about just now. It's more about looking after yourself for tomorrow, guys. Okay, so if there's anything that you can take away from this today, guys, is you should be building strength. Yes, it will be tedious from time to time. Yes, you'll probably not enjoy a lot of the sessions from time to time. That's part and parcel of it, to be fair. But this is where having a good coach will come into it. They'll gamify exercise for you. They'll make it progressive. So you'll have a target, have something to aim for, so you can actually buy into it. What it is you are doing is not necessarily about the numbers, although it's great to have that, because again, it shows what you're doing is working. And again, I'll refer back to Tasha. She's on now as well. Tasha, how are you, my lovely? Good job for Saturday, for your PB, mate, your deadlift. Absolutely awesome. But yes, it's about having those targets. As I said earlier, about Tasha kind of putting that marker down. She's strongest lifting heavy than she's squatting heavy than she's ever squatted before, or deadlifting as well. It's good to actually have that, so you know where you are at right now, and you can keep building on top of that, guys. Okay, so as I've mentioned it again, anything to take away for today, make sure you're doing some form of strength training or physical activity, because it's going to help kind of with your longevity moving forward in your life, guys. Okay, and that is pretty much all from it. I feel very, very quiet. Nim's off with it. I feel like I'm whispering. Whatever. Yes, guys, that is all today from me, guys. I hope you found that useful. I believe, Tasha, let's make 90. I believe 90 is achievable, Tasha. 90 is achievable, mate. It is achievable. But yes, guys, so that is absolutely all for me today, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evenings, and I will see you later in the week, squad. Peace out, A-Town. Down!